What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here and you're seeing this for the first time, welcome to the channel. Of course, my name is Nick, and here we do talk toys and pop culture of all kinds. And sometimes, just sometimes, we do talk a little bit of shit about other subjects, but this is not one of those times. Today we are going to delve deep into a staple of pop culture and toys for many, many a year. We're actually going to delve into the TMNT lore, and that's to celebrate, of course, the August 1st release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem in theaters. This is going to be another incarnation of the Ninja Turtles since they were purchased by Nickelodeon. But honestly, with these, when you look at them, the more things change, the more things stay the same. The figure releases from Playmates are eerily packaged similarly to the first ones from the 80s. And the van is eerily similar to the original Party Wagon. They do share a lot of differences. However, the similarities are definitely there if you collected the line in the 80s. In fact, Walmart has gone so far as to have a 4-pack of the Turtles in Disguise that are literally newer Turtles made to look like the older Disguised Turtles. You have the Luau Michelangelo, the Cowboy Leonardo, the Astronaut Raphael, and the Mr. Spock Donatello. So, I mean, you know, these are starting to knock on the door of the originals. We haven't seen a Shredder or Krang yet, but, I mean, that's probably coming in the next movie, maybe in, like, an after-credits scene, possibly. Who knows? But, I mean, this toy line does have a lot of room to expand. And again, these are kids' toys. They're not rare. They're readily available at my Walmart. In fact, there are tons of these there. The center cap is out. The end cap is full. These things are actually kind of peg-warming at my Walmart. I know Target did sell out of them because they were the first to release them, but now they're back in stock there too. So I think these are going to be readily available for any collectors that do want these. That said, I'm not going to feel too bad when I crack these guys out of the package here in a minute to review them for you. Because I do have a set of the Four Brothers, and I do have the van that I picked up the other day. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a two-part review here. The first part is going to be the Four Brothers, and then the second one, I think we're going to delve into the Pizzafire van a little bit and see where that goes. I haven't picked up Bebop and Rocksteady, Superfly, or Splinter yet, but those are coming. And I'll probably pick up the 4-pack I mentioned as well. That's coming down the road also. But I think I'm going to make the channel go green for a little while. Green as in with a little Mutant Mayhem. So with that said, let's go ahead, punch in, and review these Turtles. Alright guys, here's the Turtles all laid out in front of you in their classic 80s style packaging. I mean, it does mimic the original Playmates packaging quite well with the purple and green and the brick pattern. Again, these guys are going to be all different shapes, sizes, and colors. As you can see, they are all different shades, different heights, different builds. So they didn't use one turtle body and just paint them a bunch of different shades like they did in the 90s. Of course, with the packaging, you'll get your new logo up here in the corner. You get some graffiti and the character name cleverly hidden, some little drawings here and there. And then you'll get, you know, the title of each one of them. You get Leonardo, and then he's, of course, the leader. Then you get Donatello over here with much the same packaging treatment. Nice picture of the character here. Down, of course, it's Donatello. He's the brains. And you look up, and, of course, it's Raphael. And his bandana is a little different in this one, which I kind of like. And he's a lot beefier than the rest of the Turtles. You look down here, and of course it's Raphael, and of course he's the angry one. He always has been. And then you get Mikey, who's the entertainer of the group. He used to be the party dude, according to the 80s theme, but I guess party dude's kind of out of style now, so he's just the entertainer of the group. But if you look, I mean, he is shorter than the rest of the Turtles and a darker green color. Let's go ahead and crack these guys out of the packaging so you can take a look at them, and we'll do it one by one. Alright, I think the first turtle we're going to do is Michelangelo, because I really like what they've done with this guy. The face is really whimsical and pretty mischievous too. I mean, it does capture the essence of the character really well. And I do love the little picture of him here, and I like how he's shorter than the rest of the Turtles. And as you can see here, it does say Michelangelo, and he's the entertainer of the group. Of course, at the bottom you have your old Playmates logo and your 4+. You come around back and you get your Mutant Mayhem blurb. I'll let you guys pause to read that if you want to. You'll come down and of course you'll get that classic purple and green styling from the 80s. You'll get the list of figures that come out too. You've got Splinter, you've got Bebop and Rocksteady, Superfly, and Leatherhead. You come down to the bottom, of course, and you do have the Paramount logo and Nickelodeon again. You come over here, and there's another little blurb about the character. I'm not going to take the time to read that. You guys can pause to do that if you'd like, and I'll leave it up for just a moment. All right, let's talk about Michelangelo's accessories before we talk about Mikey himself. We'll do this as always because that's what we do here. If you look, he does come with the standard nunchuck that he comes with. And you know, this is pretty standard for every Michelangelo Playmates figure they've made thus far for kids. Like, the chain's not real. It would have been nice if we got a rope or something a little more flexible there, but the chain is fine. It's actually metal painted, and it looks fine. It's good for a kid's toy. And if you go over here, of course, it comes with a weapon rack like the ones from the 80s did, where the weapons do snap off of it. I will probably just leave this together and just pose him with these. It comes with a non-mutated version of Michelangelo also. You see it does come with a tiny turtle here. You take a look at it, it is really, really small. And the rest of the brothers come with the same thing. I thought it was a cool little touch. Let's go ahead and take a look at Mikey. Alright guys, here is everybody's favorite turtle, Michelangelo. And of course you do see he does have his orange bandanas and his orange elbow pads, knee pads, and wrist wraps. It does have the belt with the M on it. And all the belts on the brothers are different this time as well. They're different but very much the same as they were in the 80s. You can seat the weapons into the back like you see here. I do love the detail on the shell this time. They didn't have a whole lot of that with the 80s figures. You come around the back of the head, and of course the bandana does have some tied detail as well. And of course these are just bright primary colors. There's not a whole lot of shading to speak of on them. It does have a very, very awesomely detailed face with that goofy smile. It looks almost cel-shaded in a way, and I really like how they've done that. And I do like how he is shorter than the rest of the figures. The articulation, he probably has about 15 points. He can sort of get into a splits position. He does kick forward about 90 degrees. He does kick back not quite 90, but that's because of the shell. He is a bit back heavy, so I have to stoop him forward standing there because I don't have a stand. The arms do come out farther than 90 degrees. The arms do rotate all the way around. There is an elbow cut, just like a cut at the knees. It's not really a thigh cut, but it's there. You can turn the legs at the top to get him into the splits. The wrists do rotate. They do have a little bit of rock, and the head can't go 360 because of the shell, but the head does have a pretty good range of motion, and he can't look up or down. But that's Michelangelo in a nutshell. Yeah, bad dad jokes there. But that would be Michelangelo. Let's move on to the next turtle. And here we do have Donatello in the package. Of course, Donatello is the brains of the group. As you can see, much the same package treatment from the last bit. Donatello is slightly taller and way skinnier. He does come with a couple more accessories. He does have the cell phone there in the fanny pack, and he does have the headphones. And he does have a pair of glasses on. I mean, because Donnie is a bit of a nerd, and he always has been. So let's go ahead and check out the back. The back, of course, is going to be the same treatment, same blurb here. You come down, and of course you do have the Turtles and Splinter and Bebop and Rocksteady, Superfly and Leatherhead again, because those are the figures in the set. You come down here, and of course you do have your branding still and your YouTube link. You look down here, and of course there is another blurb about the character, and you guys can pause to read that if you want to, and I'll leave it there for just a moment so you can. Alright, and with Donatello's accessories, it's pretty much another what you see is what you get. You get another 80s retro throwback weapon rack here with the pop-off weapons. You get Donatello's trademark glasses from this film. You get his headphones, and of course you get Donnie's trademark bow staff. We'll take a look at Donnie here in just a second. And here we have Donatello out of the package holding the staff. As you can see, it's a nice bright green. There is no shading that I can see to speak of. He does have, of course, the bright purple bands, and he does have the wrist wrap, the elbow pads. His bandana there is also purple. His belt is a little bit different. It does seat the staff. It does have a fanny pack here with a cell phone. And I'm not quite positive the cell phone's removable. I'm not going to try to pull that out because it seems a little hard to do. But if you flip him around, of course, you can see where the bow staff does seat. There's going to be some more shell detail there. And, of course, the fanny pack does come all the way around. The fanny pack is a separate piece. And, of course, you do see the back of the ties there. The glasses do come off the figure, and they come off quite easily. This will likely be the first piece lost, so be very careful with that. The face, of course, does have the same cell-shaded look. It's pretty awesome. And, of course, the belt does have the silver clasp and the D on it. And the articulation with him is much the same as it is with Michelangelo. You get the, except this time his head does look up and down, and it does rotate a little better. It's kind of hard to get to rotate at first. It does have the elbow cut. The arms, of course, do come out the same way and rotate the same way. The shell does block them a little bit. And down here, of course, the legs do kick forward 90, back not quite that much. It does have pinless joints. I do enjoy that. The toes do not rock. They do spin all the way around, though, like the feet do. And, of course, the wrists rock and come out just a little bit and spin around. But all in all, great representation of Donatello. Let's move on to Raphael. Alright, and of course here we have Raphael. Again, you get the treatment from the 80s with the purple background and the bricks. He does have a bit different of a bandana. He's also the largest of the turtles as far as that goes. And of course, you know, Raphael's always been the angry one. He was the first one to curse in the original Ninja Turtles film. But yeah, I mean, he's the hothead of the group, and of course the bandana is a little different here, and he does have some battle damage on the shell, as you can see. And of course he is rocking his trademark Psy in the box. You spin that around, and of course, again, the back is going to be the same. You'll get the blurb up here, your Nickelodeon logo, the figures in the line, and of course you're going to get treated to a Raphael blurb here. And again, you guys can pause to take the time to read that if you'd like. And for Raphael here, the accessories aren't going to be that much different than the other ones. You'll see he is rocking a bit different of a set of weaponry. You've got the kunai and the hook swords there, and that's possibly a grenade or an ooze canister. He does have some pizza. These are all cast in a silver instead of the brown plastic, which is kind of odd. But it still does give that 80s retro vibe with the pop-off weaponry. You'll see the unmutated version of Raph here. Of course, it's basically the same cast as the other ones. You look here and he does have the trademark Psy. Let's take a look at the figure. And of course, here we have Raphael out of the package looking all angry like he normally does. The cell shading on the face is great. He's another nice shade of bright green. The shell does have some battle damage. The articulation on this figure, again, is going to be the exact same. He does kick forward a little less because of the plating on his shell. But again, the toes spin. He does have a knee cut that spins, and the legs do rotate out a little bit. They are on pinless joints, again, with the exception of the hips and the shoulders. The shoulders do go out farther than 90. The arms do rotate all the way around, the shell allowing. The head does have a decent range to be able to look up and side to side. It would rotate all the way around, but the shell does not let it. And of course, the wrist does rock and rotate. If you look here, the belt does have the pouch on it. It does have the R, and it does have the place for his Psy. You come around again, and there's a lot of shell detail again on the figure. This is a beefy, chunky figure as compared to the other ones to show how much heft he has. And Raphael has always been the biggest and the angriest of the turtles, so that's pretty dope. And last but not least, we can't forget our boy in blue, Leonardo. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging for him. Again, you get a nice character detail over there. You get the logo again. Much the same treatment as the other ones. In fact, all the figures in the line have this treatment, just like the original 80s ones. It'll have the purple brick background. You get your Nickelodeon logo, your graffiti. You come down and you do get treated to a nice view of the figure in the box. Of course, it is Leonardo, the leader. You get your Playmates and your 4+ again. You flip this guy around, and the back is going to be exactly the same as I've shown you before. Here's the blurb again. You come over here, you get your Nickelodeon logo, all the figures in the line, and then you'll get your character bio card. You guys can pause and read that if you'd like. Right, and here we have Leonardo's accessories. They're basically the same as Raphael's, Michelangelo's, and Donatello's. Again, you do get an extra weapon rack with all the pop-off weapons like they did in the 80s with that gimmick. You'll get his 2 katanas, and you'll get an unmutated version of Leonardo here, cast in the same shade of green as the figure. All in all, pretty good package. Still no real character-specific accessories to speak of except for the katanas. And here is Leonardo looking all smug, of course, because he is the leader. You'll see that his belt is a little bit different, but it's basically the same gimmick as the 80s Turtles. Again, they do have the belt where the weapons do seat into the belt comfortably, so they can be displayed with or without holding them. The shell detail is great on this figure. And the articulation is going to be exactly the same as the other ones. But again, great set of figures. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and stand him back up here, and I will leave a link to these figures somewhere below, possibly from Walmart.com, so you can pick up a set of your own and maybe pick up the van too if it's still on sale. Again, I'm looking forward to this movie, and at the price point of $9.99 per figure, you can't really go wrong with these guys. They're all different builds. They're different enough, but almost identical to the originals. It's the original Turtles with a modern flair, as I like to say it. So, I mean, in a nutshell, these guys are pretty great. For a collector's standpoint, I don't know if they're going to be worth anything down the road, but these guys are awesome if you're just nostalgic or you just really love the Ninja Turtles. This is another incarnation for your shelf. I feel like they'll display pretty well, and of course, if you want to keep them on card, they do display well that way too. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me today and reviewing the 4 Turtles from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Playmates Mutant Mayhem line. Again, the more things change, the more they tend to stay the same. These are packaged very similarly to the originals from the 80s. They do share a lot of similarities there as well, and there's a lot of little bitty throwback type Easter eggs with these figures. And it's just a really cool vibe. I mean, it's retro with being modern simultaneously, I guess. Nickelodeon may have actually hit the nail on the head with these here. So if you're a turtle collector and you like these two, I mean, I know a lot of people collect the NECA ones because they're harder to find or they're more cartoon accurate or be it whatever. And a lot of people call that turtle anxiety. Well, you won't have too much turtle anxiety with these figures because, again, like I said earlier, they are readily available. Guys, offshoot of this, though, channel's still growing. Everybody's still liking the content and subscribing. And you know, it costs you nothing to do so. So if you want to take the time, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe for me. You guys have been absolutely legendary at it thus far. And I thank you, every single one, for doing so. And I love you guys. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to punch out. We're going to assemble a van, and we're going to come back in the next video.